cried. And
yeah, he was at headquarters, right? Like he was just like some engineer, like sitting, like they took a photo of him at his
He
desk,
was
and he was just wearing.
Dude,
like
he
a
was some
shirt.
dork. He was some poor little dork who was just coding what I assume to be C code or C++ or something, and then he became the center of a national emergency controversy because he wore a shirt with hot women on it.
Which a woman gave to him, by the way. A lot of people leave that out. He received that shirt as a gift from a woman. And people
he cried.
Well, that's not very woke of her. Wait, he cried?
Yeah, he cried.
He cried.
So Kaya's kind of... So basically, this dude was a big NASA scientist, and he did this incredible space mission. And when it was over, they interviewed him on, like, CNN and all these big news publications. But during the interview, he wore that shirt that had, like, women in bikinis. It was like a Hawaiian shirt. And everyone ignored his accomplishments because they created this big scandal about how he was wearing this disgusting sexist shirt while doing it. And he got hounded so badly for it that he cried and apologized and literally felt like it ruined his life and completely underplayed his achievement, which it did. It was fucked.
People don't want to just admit that people can make mistakes. That's like, I'm not even saying that's a mistake. That
What
doesn't sound like
mistake?
a fucking mistake. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. But still, even if this was a mistake and he apologizes, nobody just lets it go or anything. They fucking hound him for life. That's fucked.
Yeah.
Like, what happened with that? There was a game developer who I believe had accusations thrown against him, like completely unfounded.
Oh, and he killed himself.
Then,
yeah, that was a...
then he killed himself.
That was a not feminist frequency, but
no,
the other
it was
one.
Zoe Quinn, right? Wasn't that Zoe Quinn?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Zoe Quinn.
Yeah.
And
was
she
the
celebrated as a hero
developer?
while this fucking guy who had unfounded accusations thrown against him commit suicide.
His name was Alec, I believe. Alec, yeah.
Alec Hochler, I think.
Holwalk.
The problem is that with this shit, we always want to jump on the bandwagon and get the entertainment of like canceling people and shaming them, but we never want to flip the script and like acknowledge when we did it wrong or apologize or any of that shit.
It shouldn't be happening in the first place.
Yeah. But I'm saying that's what the community is. They want to jump on the bandwagon of like shitting on people, but they never want to, I don't know.
Well, it makes them feel powerful and more useful in the world, I suppose.
Yeah.
If they have nothing else to contribute to the world.
Jackson, is that you and I have the moral high ground. Okay?
Yeah, that's fair.
Agreed. Feels good not being an American sometimes.
Here in Germany, we don't have a movement to, make 2 + 2 = 5.
So to say,
wow, racist.
I'm still reading about that. It's pretty wild. So the idea, what I'm gathering here is the idea is you can make 2 + 2 = 5 in reality, because let's say you bring a rooster and a hen together, you bring 2 roosters and 2 hens together, and then you come back a year later, and then instead of being 4, there's 5 because both had babies.
I cannot fucking believe
or
that
one had a
people
baby.
think
One
that.
had a baby.
I just seriously cannot fucking believe that.
I know.
Is this more a theory about math or roosters?
It's a it's
a guide on how to be a fucking moron.
It's applying
Or a
math.
farmer.
Why are we quoting jokes from 90s cartoons that hillbillies would say as a punchline? It's actual scientific theory. Hot
Intellectualism is dead. It's not intellectualism
Oh my
anymore.
god.
It's just-
I think we've done it, boys. I think we found the topic on this podcast that's made me more irrationally upset than anything. I'm actually mad about this. How do you be that stupid?
Well, maybe they're on to something,
Yeah.
Andrew. Maybe our understanding of math is what's wrong.
Oh god. Someone chemically castrate me so I can leave this world. I'm done. I don't want to fucking do this anymore.
Back whenever Isaac Newton was, fucking around with the theory of relativity or whatever he did, do you think people just believed him at face value, Andrew? Do you think they mocked him like we do on their 18th century podcasts? Of course they did.
Andrew.
Of course they did.
Well, it depends on the scientist, I think.
You know what? Maybe what we really need is to just chemically castrate people who think that 2 + 2 = 4.
What's
change our
castrating them going
minds.
to do about their theories?
It's going to prove that they're right and they're on to it. They're seeing the truth.
the government had to take away our penises to stop us from believing in 2 + 2 = 5.
We were too powerful.
We knew too much.
This is an actual... God damn it. I've been trying to hold it back, but I'm all on Andrew's boat here. I mean...
We all are. It's
every
stupid.
single... It's not just stupid, Jackson. It's
dangerous, you're
unbelievable.
right.
I mean, the fact that we
Yeah.
have to sit here and pretend that, oh, America is the greatest country on earth and blah, 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 that all the smartest people come out of America. But, dude, you guys think that 2 + 2 = 5 now. This is one of your mainstream beliefs.
It's not mainstream. It's not mainstream.
Nah, dog, Jackson, stop playing fucking bodyguard for these people. You're not taking a
want
bullet
to.
for the president, okay? These people are at major American universities, okay? These are people who hold some say in, I don't know, mainstream math and science, I guess.
What happens when you make university so accessible, though? You could just pay a fee and get in. And then people have to listen to your fucking dumbass
All right, Alan Turing, slow down.
essays.
Do I have to get the chemical castration ready, Jackson?
I'm just saying that Australia and Germany and Turkey are far less cringe.
I also want to point out that in the dystopian novel 1984, 2 + 2 = 5 is one of the explicit examples they use to show that the world is just falling apart to stupid thought and people saying stupid shit.
Double thing.
yeah, well,
yeah.
you're racist. That's how it works in America. So shut the fuck up.
I'm so mad about this. I fucking hate this topic so much. It's so difficult for me to get, like, a lot of this stuff. I just look at it and I'm like, wow, what a bunch of idiots. Oh, wow, that's funny. That's goofy. But with this one, I'm just like actually mad that people will believe this shit. Jesus Christ.
It's like fucking 6-year-old children wouldn't just come out of nowhere and believe this kind of shit.
Oh my God.
Well, they wouldn't have.
Shame on you.
We got to get
Charlie,
these kids.
shame on you. Andrew.
We got to get these
shut
kids
up.
building blocks. Put 2 in one pile and 2 in the other, and say, "Now, how many blocks are there?"
Yeah, but when
and
you're
if they
failing
ever
to-
try to say anything except 4,
Well,
we get the
Andrew,
chemical
but-
castration.
Whatever.
Let's say
It's
you
not too
give
late for abortion.
if you give them 2 blocks each. Maybe when they leave the room, you come and sneak an extra block in there, and then it really did equal 5. You're not understanding the theory.
You've turned my world upside
but
down.
Look, Jackson, finally we get to dunk on these motherfuckers, okay?
Finally,
Let's just take
that's
our
what we've
win.
been doing
What
for
do you mean?
4
Why-
years.
what do you
Wait,
mean
has Jackson been
finally?
excited to do this? I'm confused.
Well, no, it's just like it's been like that for
I have
years
been.
now. Like,
Yeah, America's always been painfully
Yeah.
stupid.
yeah.
It's been the whole thing.
I love
It's some kind of cosmic joke that they're the world power or world leader,
Yeah.
and also at the same time so fucking.
I love America.
Incredibly
I
stupid.
love America. I do, but boy, we have
For its
probably
values.
some of the stupidest fucking people on this planet.
I think those tribes that are totally cut off from human contact, on average, would have like a higher IQ than most people on Twitter.
You're not wrong.
Honestly, until this point, I was, I never liked this idea that, oh, America, blah, 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 you're all fat and tourists, and you come to
They
Europe
are,
and
though.
you're all fat and
They are.
yeah.
are.
I mean, at this point, dude, you guys are arguing 2 + 2 = 5. I can't defend you anymore.
Please don't.
I don't know what
Just let
what
it
the
go.
fuck to say.
Just let it happen, man.
This is embarrassing.
But if you just let it happen, if you let fucking America do that kind of shit, you run the whole world into the ground with your fucking stupidity because you're the world leader. I hate that
Yeah.
shit. You affect me. Anyway, thanks
All right,
America
you guys wanna wrap?
for giving us an audience for this podcast. We appreciate everything you've done for us, America. I like
So,
America
as you
for their
know-
values, at least.
What values?
Like their value meals at McDonald's and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Also, if you buy 2 Patreon subscriptions annual, we get paid for 5 of them.
Something
Can
like
we
that,
lie?
yeah.
Here, Jackson, do you want to lie?
Yeah. Right now, every what do you call it? Subscription you make to our podcast is worth 5, so you're helping us out 5 times the amount. So go subscribe.
That doesn't make sense. It's absolutely
Doesn't have to.
retarded. Mathematically, it's ludicrous. But hey, it's American math, so that works. So please go to patreon.com/theofficialpodcast and help us out a little.
All right. Thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode. We'll see
But there's something that I need to make sure that we all talk about right now. Because if you haven't heard about Anchor, then you need to know about the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. Beyond that, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many other platforms. You can make money for your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's got everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. If you have something super special to talk about and you want people to hear it so they know it's super special, you're going to want to use Anchor. It's the best way to do it. Oh, Jesus. Whose meaty slapper was that?
That was Kaya.
That was incredible.
No, I think that was Charlie.
That was incredible.
Maybe.
Don't try to push credit off onto Charlie. That was all you, Kaya.
He's being modest. No, that was all you, Charlie.
Just felt like a normal clap to me. Take us in, Jackson.
That's what the Hulk would say.
Alright, starting now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the official podcast, episode 203. With me are my co-hosts, Andrew, Charlie, and Kaya. I am Jackson, also a host of the official podcast. Charlie, what do you have to bring us today? What are you offering up?
Well, I don't have a whole lot of crazy shit to mention, but if you're a fan of sports, the Lightning won the Stanley Cup recently, and the Rays are in the World Series. So Tampa could take home 2 big sports titles this year.
What does that mean, though? What does that mean for Tampa?
Well, it's still a shithole, but we have good athletes.
You think Tampa's a shithole?
What does it mean for Earth?
Yeah, what does it mean for me in Australia? What do I get from this? I've been to Tampa once. Twice.
Then you've indirectly helped contribute to these championships.
I did. We went to a Lightning game.
We did?
We contributed to their morale, I guess. Wait, that was last season though, right? So they lost that season.
Jackson jinxed it.
No, it's actually the same season. It was January.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, so.
Oh, that was January? Okay.
Jackson blessed it.
Yeah, as soon as I showed up and bought some merchandise from them, they went straight to the top of the Stanley Cup. I'm actually wearing a Lightning beanie right now because it's cold in my room.
Oh,
nice.
Aw. Wait, why is it cold in your room? Isn't it supposed to be summer there?
It's summer, so I blast the aircon, but it's cold now because of the aircon, so
turn it down. You're in control.
It's impossible.
I didn't have enough time to turn it down. I didn't want to be cold during this.
Aw.
Anyway, good on them. Good on them, I guess. But the thing about sports is that I don't understand why you really care about like cities winning the Stanley Cup or whatever, because they can just buy players, can't they? They just buy players from anywhere.
It's pretty absurdly dumb that there's so much like location loyalty to a team, but the players are not from that location at all.
Yeah, most of them are Russian.
What?
Yeah,
right.
Most of them are. Aren't most hockey players Russian?
Jackson, I was fucking talking about how they trade players between cities and states all the time. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Did the Soviets infiltrate Tampa?
I swear most of them are like Ukrainian and Russian, and they're just brought over on sports visas to.
There are
play
some Russian hockey players, but I think it'd be very hard to argue the majority is.
I think that the majority is. I think I don't know how we do this research if we count every single hockey player and figure out what the majority nationality is, but I think the main nationality would be Russian, maybe Canadian actually.
Canadian's huge, yeah.
Yeah, Canada's huge. Both countries are huge in hockey, but I don't know if I would say most American Hockey League players are Russian.
The NHL isn't just America, is it? It's also Canada.
Well, it's the National Hockey League. Although it might...
Yeah, but it also they also play in Canada.
Yeah, it might
like
include Canada as well. Okay. So then, if it does include Canada, then I'd wager that more people come from Canada than Russia if they're foreign hockey
I'd say
players.
so.
Are you sure? I mean, should they maybe be investigated?
For what?
For what?
Being Russian? Is that illegal?
Hiring Russians? Yeah.
You were playing hockey
the
while
Russians-
Russian? That's $1 million fine to your team.
Aren't they notorious for doping their athletes or something in the Olympics? Russia? Isn't that an ongoing scandal every single year that they always dope their athletes?
Yeah, I
Plus
think that's
spies.
pretty common.
I think that's common with
I don't-
every nationality, though. Like, it's more to do with, like, just corrupt teams in general.
Mm-hmm.
True,
Like, what,
still, they're
what
Russian.
was that, Lance Armstrong, the cyclist who he spent his whole career doped up on,
Whatever happened to him?
steroids. He's still cycling to this day, I'm pretty sure.
No, he's
just
not.
without drugs running through his... Oh, he's not?
No, he's like super banned from cycling.
Oh, yeah, but they can't take away his bike. He can still ride around.
No, if they see him on a bike, he goes to jail.
Yeah. Riding
They
while
took away
dope.
his bike license.
I want you to hand over your gun and your bike. You're suspended without pay.
So that's a good morality question for you guys. Do you think that doping like that should be
Execution.
illegal in those sports? Or do you think those sports should
No.
be the absolute complete pushing and peak of the human body and that should be fine?
I think there should be two. There should be like a clean version of the industry, and then just go balls to the walls, like
Yeah.
inject people with superhuman serum and see how far their bodies can go.
I
and then
personally,
compete with other.
I agree with you,
doped up fiends.
Jackson. I want there to be some form, whether it's a different league or maybe they could have like drugs month where drugs are totally okay for a month or something where we just get to see crazy fucking superhuman freaks playing these sports. I want to see that.
I feel like sports
And
is one
robots.
industry.
Yeah. And animals.
Sporting is one industry that hasn't really innovated or done anything new in like 100 years. But they basically just adjust small little rules within their own, competitive sports field. But there's nothing new. Like, what was the last new sport invented?
Digital sports,
Esports.
honestly, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So not really, physical.
Well, does sports really need to change? I mean, sports are still at incredible levels of popularity. It's not like major sports are dying off, People still like sports.
Let's make a new one. Invent it. I don't care why. I mean, don't we have the technology for Quidditch yet? There's something out of a movie.
You mean magic technology? No, I don't believe we've invented magic yet. Maybe next time. Maybe next year.
I don't know. Hoverboards and jetpacks or something. But yeah, I'm down. Just dope them all and take robots. Have them fight it against robots. Fuck it.
What would our sport be based around? So every sport has like a key fundamental, like football is moving a ball down a field against other players, and basketball is putting a ball through a hoop, and soccer is kicking a ball in a net. What would be the primary fun goal of our sport?
Get laid.
Yeah, I was honestly gonna say I think sex sports would be a massive hit. I think it would be fucking incredible.
Convince someone to have sex with you during the game.
Yeah, but you take like the most stubborn people, like nuns and stuff, and you have to like do your best.
You got to flirt with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our sport's called like hot flirting or something.
Flirt ball, I
Flirt
guess.
ball. Yeah. Well, where does the ball come in?
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
your nuts.
You guys are really forgetting the aspect that any professional athlete can get any pussy. So that's not going to be much of a challenge. I don't care if it's a nun. That nun is going to strip like a banana once she sees fucking Tom Brady in front of her.
Well, how about we flip it then? How about the goal is to not get laid? You're a professional athlete, and we hire like the horniest people on the planet to chase you, and you have to avoid them.
hide and seek.
How about this?
It's a
Let's
win-win
take football
game.
players, and the sport is don't beat your wife. We could
Damn.
make that a thing.
Jeez.
If we're gonna go down
Andrew,
that route.
Andrew just described hide and seek with a splash of rape on the side.
Yeah, man. Well, think
Like,
it's a
to run
win-win.
away from sex.
It's a
Try
win-win
not to have
game.
sex.
It's a win-win game because either you win the game and you get the accolades and you become the world champion of whatever the name of this game is, Love Ball, or you get some sex. How could this possibly go wrong? Yeah. You sound concerned for some unknown reason.
I just don't think there's
It's
any
still-
other cool sports right now until technology evolves a little bit more. I think we're still stuck with the same traditional sports.
Yeah, people are set in their ways.
All
Yeah.
the
Maybe
cool
with
sports are
technology we can
disappearing.
What are the cool sports?
Like what?
Like skating and stuff like that. Skateboarding, I mean.
Well, the reason
it?
it's disappearing is because it hasn't changed, so it's still mainly like the same tricks and stuff.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
it's not like disappearing. There's always going to be skaters. It's just not as popular as it once was.
So we need to think of a new rad skateboard trick to keep everyone invested.
We need to bring back Tony Hawk
He still skateboards.
with steroids.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah,
40
but,
years
you
old
know.
and he still regularly like skateboards at a pretty decent level.
Okay, but
Does
what
anyone
I'm saying
care,
is, you know,
though?
give him like metal kneecaps and nuclear fuel hearts and steroids, and then
Yeah.
let him skate.
Strap a rocket to his back so he flies in the air.
Yes,
Pretty cool.
That would be awesome. I wish we could do that.
We need that, and we need Death Race. It's beyond me that Death Race is still not a thing. We have Robot Wars, or whatever they're called, where they have these little bots in a fucking kiddie pool slap fighting. Skip that shit. Just come on. We have self-driving cars now. Put an antenna on that thing, a couple of guns, and let's go. Let's have fun.
That's one that's always disappointed me. Every time we've ever had robot wars or robot fights or robot competitions, our robots are always the lamest fucking things on the planet compared to what you'd want, you know?
I don't get it
Yeah.
because like BattleBots have the strictest regulations that just lead to like the same fucking types of bots
Yep.
being built every time. It's so boring.
It's 'cause-
like I love BattleBots as a concept and some of the matches are good.
Yeah.
But they have like the strictest shit. Like your BattleBot can't be more than like 2 feet off the ground. It has to weigh.
So there's
X
too many
amount.
regulations, too many red tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
dumb it
get
down.
why because it's little remote controlled bots. Why not just have?
But
them
they
be,
don't
like,
want to give the
actual-
robots too much power, obviously, otherwise they'll
Which
take
is fucking
lives.
stupid. Like Jesus, I remember when BattleBots was really, really popular, one of their rules came in because they were worried about the crowd safety. Because apparently some bot exploded or one of its blades came loose or something. It's like, okay,
Its
just
fusion reactor exploded.
fucking put it outside and do something to isolate the crowd or what the fuck ever. Do what you have to keep people safe, but don't lessen the robots. If anything, make them cooler and more deadly.
Yeah.
I don't believe that we can keep people safe in like NASCAR races, but we can't keep them safe from a little fucking RC car with a knife on it. Come on. I'm with Charlie. Remove all the red tape. This is stupid. Let people make whatever robots they. I don't care if fucking DARPA shows up with one of their parkour running cyborgs.
Well, do you guys
That would be cool.
Do you guys remember what the Incredible World Champion did that made them ban an entire tactic in Robot Wars that was like OP as fuck?
Well, you're exaggerating, but I know what you're talking about. The one that just fired a net, right?
No, the one that flipped them. Do you
Oh,
remember
that
that?
never got banned. Flips are still huge.
No.
Flippers are still big.
I thought flipping got banned because flipping was literally broken because you would just flip a robot and then it couldn't move for the entire rest of the fight no matter what.
No, that was never ever the case. Flippers are still big in BattleBots.
I thought the whole point was that they made a robot. I think it was the Mythbusters who did it, where they made a robot that all it was a wedge with a flipper on it, and they won every single match without even trying because they would just put everyone on their side.
No, most bots self-correct. Like almost every single bot in BattleBots self-corrects.
Yeah, it's their natural ability.
All I know is back when I watched BattleBots, one of the main attraction bots was a literal suit of armor on a big motor. I think if they flipped that, it wouldn't get back over. Do you remember that one, Charlie?
No, but I remember there was a giant pickle.
There was.
Yeah, there was just a robot that was just a pickle. It just moved around.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
There
it's
should
pretty
be a
dumb.
robot like
This
that's
is
really
stupid.
talented in diplomacy that just talks his way out of the battle.
Dialogue tree.
Yeah, just
Yeah, for
convinces
real,
the
though,
other
just-
robot to lay down his arms.
I assume an EMP blast wouldn't be legal, right? By
That's
the
what I was thinking. Like
regulations.
hack the other
Then,
robot, like remote access it or something, and make it explode.
See, it's boring. Let them do just come on. God damn it!
Well, an
life
EMP
so
is
boring
just
with
kind
all
of
the fucking
inherent.
red tape.
An EMP would kind of make it not fun because then the other robot would just turn off. So I mean, it's not much of a fight, you know.
But also fry
No,
the
so
cell
it's
phones
like
that
using
everyone's
a
using
trank.
against.
Capabilities.
Well, yeah, if you could defend against it, that'd be fine. But like that's like using a tranquilizer dart in MMA. It's like you're not going to get much of a fight out of it, you know.
I want to see that as well. Actually, that'd be cool.
What, just beating a sleeping man to death?
Yeah, someone gets in there with like an elephant rifle full of trank darts.
See, you guys have
He
no
has to
vision.
shoot the MMA. What do you call them?
I think-
MMA wrestlers while they're doing flips and shit.
I propose a weapon, and you guys' first thought is, well, then that's too strong. Rather than okay, and you know what would be even more awesome?
it's
is
not
if
too
the
strong, it's
Enemy
too
robot
boring.
came up with something even stronger. So we need to remove the red tape. Not worry about that's gonna break the game or whatever. Just remove all
Our argument
obstacles.
wasn't that's too strong. It was just that it's boring. It just turns it off. That doesn't do anything cool.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So what you need is a robot enemy that doesn't get turned off by an EMP, some sort of a defensive mechanism.
Kaya,
I don't fucking know.
What you're saying is you eventually want BattleBots to evolve into nuclear warfare, where they're just launching fucking bombs at each other.
Look, if we can settle international conflicts via battle bots, why not? In the ring.
We're going
Like
to
Beyblades.
based on Modern Warfare. Eventually, we will.
Yeah, okay, so instead of putting those unmanned drones and hypersonic plane-delivered nukes onto the battlefield and cities with civilians, build a big-ass ring and let robots handle it. A team of robots. I mean, no, it should be one-on-one. That's more cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is cooler 1-on-1.
Sounds like the plot to a like mediocre-ish action movie.
What the fuck is the moon good for? Okay, if you're worried about safety, put all this shit on the moon, lower gravity too, so that's fun, and then just televise it to Earth, to us. They can duke it out on the moon. What's gonna happen if you fucking nuke the moon? Who cares?
We
What's
lose
the moon
the
ever
sea.
done for us?
Yeah. What about the tides?
One nuke isn't gonna blow up the moon, is it?
I don't know. The
I
moon
mean,
seems
It
really
can handle a
flimsy.
nuke.
Yeah,
No, I feel like
it's
the
pretty
moon.
flimsy.
I feel like the moon's not that strong. I feel like it only takes a couple of like, I don't know, a few hits on the moon for it to just completely combust.
Okay, Mars then. The fuck are we gonna do on Mars? All the
Yeah.
cocksuckers just signing up for that Mars 1 mission where they want to go live on Mars. Enjoy the dirt, buddy. I'm gonna enjoy my roller coasters and movies on Earth. And oceans and such, life. Instead of that, put robots on Mars.
Wouldn't it be
We
cool
have
to
literally
terraform
put
Mars,
robots
though?
on Mars, haven't we?
Yeah, but they don't fight.
Cool robots.
That's true, they don't
cool
fight.
robots.
Yeah.
Cool robot. By the way, that's another good point. All them those DARPA fuckers keep uploading these videos of robots doing parkour. Meanwhile, we have robots on Mars that, like, if its wheel gets turned at a 1% wrong angle, it's stuck in it. That's like $2 billion down the hole, and we need to send a new rover to rescue the old one or something. Oh, what the fuck, NASA? Why aren't we sending DARPA robots to Mars? Why is it still these stupid fucking rovers with dinky wheels that get stuck in Mars dust?
They're purpose built for that terrain.
Yeah. Mars
Not
is
really.
really,
Yeah,
really
apparently
inhospitable.
not.
We didn't account for
Okay,
that one
so-
rock.
While the DARPA robot can parkour, it's purpose built for walking. Isn't that better than one that just... You guys don't remember this? Like, for a while, that almost every month we used to have an emergency where the rover would get stuck because someone steered it into a fucking sand pit.
Yeah, but I
Cool
imagine
robot.
like a bipedal robot on Mars would be just as big of a disaster. You'd keep
it'd be
tripping
worse.
over rocks.
Yeah, a bipedal robot would be extremely worse
Tripping.
because it would trip and fall over and then never do anything again. How does
Well,
it
I
get
mean,
up?
they can.
Have you seen the DARPA videos?
Yeah,
what do you
they
mean
can
trip
get
and fall?
up.
That thing would beat you up. That thing has better coordination than you do, buddy.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
definitely
on
stand
Earth,
itself
you're
back
right.
up.
It still has to get to Mars, though. But yeah,
So does a
I assume
rover.
we'd send the robot there, Andrew.
No, it would
we wouldn't
walk.
make him. We wouldn't make
if
him
it's
figure
so
out how
good
to build
at
a
walking, it
spaceship.
can get there on its own, Jackson. Come on.
I was suggesting it like hitchhike to the Mars, but
Your first
just
task is to
drop it
build
there.
a spaceship on your own.
or those one of those little dog robots that they have. You know those where they kick it around and they fucking run it over with a car and hit it with baseball bats and shoot it in the head and they call it mean names and it always just gets back up and keeps tuckering along and opening doors
Yeah.
and running up hills and
Videos are
shit.
terrifying,
Put that
man.
on Mars.
Imagine if that thing was designed to hunt
They
you
are.
down and kill you. That thing is fucking terrifying.
I think I could beat it.
It probably
The
wouldn't.
dog one?
Yeah. How would you beat it?
By wearing the right pair of underwear.
There we go.
They'd smell
Yes.
my MeUndies and be just afraid because it knows I make the best decisions.
That's totally true. Because MeUndies.
I mean, MeUndies has so many amazing patterns. Maybe the robot would think it's like QR codes and try to scan it and then just fry its own brain at how amazing the patterns are.
It
Just
just- it can't
patterns
comprehend
now.
It would think it would scan you in, and with all your incredible camouflage and other MeUndies patterns, it would think you were just a human without a crotch. So you just were like half a person and it would ignore you. MeUndies believes that comfort is about more than what's touching your skin. It's about feeling comfortable in your skin. Keyword is your skin, not someone else's. It's almost Halloween, but I'm not talking about some spooky, crazy Halloween shit. MeUndies just launched 3 new Halloween prints. So if you're into cats, blood, or skeletons, they've got something up your alley.
Yes.
Underwear from MeUndies grows on trees. It's made from irresistibly soft natural fibers sourced from beechwood trees. And you know what natural fibers means? It means their micromodal is not only super soft, but it's breathable, light, and impossibly cozy. Serious comfort, as everything MeUndies does is to help you feel truly comfortable from head to toe, from outside to in. Now, some of you out there, some of you naysayers, some of you little weirdos might be saying, well, I don't care if Halloween is coming up. I'm not going to buy any new underwear because this sounds like a load of hoopla, some superstition, maybe fake. Every one of us, all 4 of us, each official boy wears MeUndies. Legitimately. They are so goddamn comfy. And they are so fucking soft. I love them on my body. You might love them on your body. And you can try them on your body by getting 15% off of your first order and free shipping by going to MeUndies.com/official. That's MeUndies.com/official. I have said this every time we talk about MeUndies. I have not one but 2 pairs of the polar bear print, and I love them. I wear them sometimes, and I feel good when I do. How about you, boys?
Yeah, it's all I wear for underwear. MeUndies is great.
Yeah.
I already got the Halloween edition cat print. You guys know I love cats.
course.
Plus, if the DARPA, well, maybe actually that's bad for the DARPA. If I want to escape the cyber dog, it might see a cat and attack
Chase
me
it.
extra hard. All right, well, I'm gonna need to get the skeleton print then. It'll see the skeleton and think I'm already dead. Just get your MeUndies, you guys. Get your own print. You can get matching MeUndies too, by the way, for you and your loved one.
That's true.
Your
They,
partner.
they come in men's and women's, by the way. Don't mention that often, but some ladies might hear MeUndies and think that we talk about it. So, oh, it's just men's underwear. It's just boxers. Nope. If you want to wear some women's underwear for whatever reason, go to MeUndies. They've got a bunch.
MeUndies.com/official.
That was. Oh no, I forgot the offer. 15% off your first order
15%.
and free shipping. MeUndies.com/official.
Perfect.
Yep.
So how come we are still sending astronauts to the moon and shit? Because I read that apparently now the goal is to have astronauts back on the moon by knowing NASA probably like 2057 or some shit, and $50 billion trillion later. But why not just send those DARPA robots?
I thought we
Isn't that
really
easier?
slowed
They
down
could
on
just
it.
stay there.
I thought we really slowed down on manned missions, and now we're mostly doing robots. Unless
Well,
I'm wrong.
well, I mean, the robots, yeah, but again, like I said, you just keep sending those stupid fucking rovers. That's about it as far as robots go. And now apparently NASA wants to send humans to the moon again. One man and one woman, I think. I don't know if you guys are planning on colonizing the moon. But why not just send robots? I mean, wouldn't that just cut out the whole human error middleman? Just leave them up there. They don't even have to come back. They can just chill.
What robots are good enough to send, though? Or do you mean develop robots that are able to withstand the moon?
Well, it's not like the moon's that
DARPA.
hard, right? Like, does the moon have like inherently
Oh, well,
dangerous
I mean,
qualities?
you would have to develop a very specific type of robot to be able to navigate the moon, though.
Just
Like you couldn't,
yeah,
you couldn't
the
just
humanoid
send,
ones or the dogs.
you couldn't just send the dog up there without any kind of development on it. Like it wouldn't survive up there.
Well, what would it do
Why
up there?
not?
Like, what would a robot even do up there? I think the reason of humans up there is to like gather certain shit or perform experiments or
rocks.
some shit. But what would the robots do besides just like
Well, the
jog
robots.
around?
Yeah, but you don't need the human brain on there. All you need is a humanoid body if you want to, like, a hand with opposable thumbs. If you want to conduct experiments, be it that. Just have a remote control a drone and have that do it for you. Why does a human being have to be there in person to collect space rocks?
Dexterity, I guess.
Doesn't the
Because we can't trust the robots yet. We can only trust
Yeah.
humans.
I
They haven't
mean,
earned their spot.
no matter how good our robot is today, it's not going to do everything perfectly that a human would be able to do, whether it's decision making or mobility.
maybe
So,
they're scared
Unless
that
there's
they're
there's like a Go tournament on the moon or something, then I guess they would pretty easily.
We're going to
dominate up
launch
there.
Deep Blue into space to play chess on the moon.
Let's just put a supercomputer on it all
Yeah.
by itself. Like, give it enough of a power source and let it figure out how to fuck to get out of there.
Let it figure out the
Give
moon.
Give it a good processor and a 3D printer. Let it figure out a way out. What if it comes back with a vengeance?
Did you guys read that Neil deGrasse Tyson has been like making articles warning people about an asteroid that's going to hit the Earth like
Yeah.
a few days before the election? He's like fear mongering almost, but then NASA came out and said that it's like only a 0.4% chance that the asteroid's actually going to hit Earth, and on top of that, it's only the size of like a refrigerator, so it's like it won't cause any harm.
Do you think
Neil
this
deGrasse
is-
Tyson? What?
Do you think this is his tipping point? Because we've talked a lot how he's been losing public favor and people are realizing he's a douche. Do you think this is the point where Neil deGrasse Tyson starts his big slippery slope? Like now he's going to start heroin and he's going to like
What?
start appearing on like terrible low budget talk shows trying to get his fame back,
He
but he
already
comes
does.
off. But I mean, like it's going to get worse and worse. This is the point where people start going, "Shut the fuck up, Neil deGrasse Tyson," because he still has fans. People still like him overall. But do you think this is the moment where people are like, man, that guy's a fucking weirdo and an asshole?
I don't know. That's a good question, though. The fucking asteroid wouldn't even hit Earth. It would burn up before it even got to the
Yeah.
ground. Like, I don't know how you'd even defend this. Like, Neil deGrasse Tyson is just spitting facts again. Can't handle the truth, I guess.
He just wants
What
you
has
to
he
know
said,
that
though?
asteroids can hit Earth, maybe. I guess I could spin it that way. Like, he's just trying to be educational and wacky and zany, like a cool science uncle. But the articles that I read had like all the headlines were fear-mongering, and like some of them turned it political as well, which was a weird take.
Well, let me guess, it's Trump's fault.
No. But like people saying that it might save us from the election, or humans won't be the
that
ones
is
to
an
destroy
article
Earth.
that I do remember. I don't know if you guys remember that there was an asteroid. What was it? It was something. Therefore, Trump is going to cause an asteroid. But they went through all the steps of why that might happen. I think it was with the government shutdown, and the government shutdown would affect some of the NASA's activities monitoring space, and therefore, during a 15-day shutdown of the government, you guys might miss an asteroid hurling towards Earth. It might kill the whole species. It was an amazing leap. Also, now I'm reading that actually he said that Neil deGrasse Tyson I'm talking about, he said that it's not big enough to cause harm. So it doesn't really sound like he's fear-mongering. It sounds like he just did his usual, Neil deGrasse Tyson brand of, well, actually, there's an asteroid, but actually, it's only going to burn up in the atmosphere. But actually, if it didn't, though, it would actually kill the whole species, maybe.
Then I suppose it's just
actually it wasn't small.
Journalists and like people who were writing the articles that turned it into a fear-mongering piece to get clicks.
I've been peeking a bit on this, and it turns out that what Tyson was saying was just kind of harmless and going like, oh, hey, fun fact, an asteroid is coming and it might hit the Earth, but it's pretty harmless, nothing. But a lot of people are writing articles going, oh, Neil deGrasse said an asteroid could wipe out the fucking Earth before the election. So maybe Tyson's in the right this time. Maybe we all jumped the gun.
Good work, Neil.
Thank you, Neil.
I think he should just shut his face.
Yeah, what a fucking nerd. Shut up, Poindexter.
You know it all.
No one cares about asteroids that won't wipe us out.
What does that have to do with the election, Neil?
I assume he just wanted to squeeze his name in the news again. He seems to be desperate. Like, guys, is no one gonna ask me about global warming? No, so many deniers still. No, they aren't, Neil. Yes, they are. Actually, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think a lot of those guys kind of just... I think their fame peaked around the atheist age of the internet. Right, the like fedora tipping, most of that, but the high time of the Westboro Baptist Church and such, where it was somehow still a debate whether creationism was right. That's the kind of time where people like Neil deGrasse Tyson were at the top of their interview game. Yeah, they were, giving speeches almost daily, and now these days it's nobody cares.
Why did Neil deGrasse Tyson weigh in on the Baptist Church, the Westboro Baptist Church?
He was giving the science behind being homophobic, I guess.
I mean, he was one of the, like scientists with charisma. Jackson, so in the early 2010s, there was this movement where atheists really wanted to make scientists popular. What's the name of the other guy?
Bill Nye.
Bill Nye,
yeah.
Was big.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the whole idea was, hey, rock stars are popular and they influence children. What if we made actual scientists popular and gave them some fame? And then finally, science can rule the day. And what happened was, fucking Bill Nye ended up twerking on Netflix to retarded made up pseudoscience. So that plan just crashed and burned. And over time, religion kind of just lost its grip on the mainstream, and people like there was just no use or need for people like Neil deGrasse Tyson to go on TV and talk about how evolution is true anymore, because like 99.9% of people already believe it.
It was the culmination of
what is way back in.
It was the culmination of this like embarrassing trend where in the late 2000s you had all these like YouTube channels and all these people where their whole shtick was God's not real. And here's the science. And if you listen to religion, you're a fucking moron. And here's why evolution has to be real. And if you believe in creationism, you're just the biggest fucking idiot ever. And then eventually it started snowballing. And then we got that show you were talking about and people like Tyson becoming celebrities and getting popular. And then people realize like, hey, man, you can believe what you want, but maybe these people are jerks. Maybe the way they're presenting it kind of makes them a jerk. And now that's where we are
turns
now.
Out, if you give someone money and power, it kind of corrupts them regardless of who they are. Yeah. It doesn't matter if they have a PhD. Speaking of like the media drumming up hysteria, though, you guys remember net neutrality? Isn't that just a blast from the past? You guys remember like 2 years ago when every single billion-dollar social media conglomerate was ordering its users on every day on the front page, these big red banners telling you to freak out. Are you not freaking out? If you are not panicking, then what is wrong with you? You must be ignorant if you're not panicking. So whatever happened.
Every super single clever Reddit user by that point, like on their subreddit, worked in a joke about net neutrality and got to the front page of the website. Like, let's say you're looking at Game of Thrones subreddit. It was like, oh, man, that plot twist when Cersei killed those people sure was shocking, but not as shocking as the internet will be after net neutrality. And it would just be all over the fucking internet and Google searches. everything.
Every single day, that fucking red meme, the with the red background and the white letters telling if you're not freaking out, you're not paying attention, telling you to be hysterical, and all these billion-dollar mega corporations suddenly came together to, you know, kind of sort of slander this one, Indian guy and his family, Ajit Pai or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
He
And
made
then
it
what?
pretty
What
easy,
happens? Literally 2 weeks later, everyone forgot. As far as I know, net neutrality was repealed like 2 years ago. What happens? I was told by Reddit and hundreds of thousands of upvoters and commenters that I was ignorant and that, you know, if it does get repealed, I'd have to pay $10 per Google search. What happens?
I would also be curious to know what the fuck happened with all that.
I would assume it didn't pass and everyone just literally forgot about it.
No, it did pass.
It did pass.
Oh, wait, it did?
No, it did
well,
pass.
I'm a fucking
Yeah,
idiot
it was-
then.
It was repealed like 2 years ago. And that's why you haven't heard about it in over 2 years.
Is it
Almost
possible?
as
Is it
if-
possible that it's like an ongoing process or something? Like maybe there's a
Yeah,
buffer,
maybe.
a buffer time period.
It was
where
repealed,
doesn't-
I know that much. I just now remember, I mean, it's repealed. There is no buffer, there's no negotiations here.
Well, there can always be a buffer for something to take effect. Like they can decide that it's going to be repealed, but they can say like this won't take effect until like 2 years from now or something. I'm not sure. I haven't done any fucking research into this. I don't give a shit. This is, I don't know. It was just loud noise on the internet 2 years
The
ago.
Verge says net neutrality was repealed a year ago. The articles from a year ago, FCC chairman stands by net neutrality repeal after repeals. So the appeals fell through. FCC's net neutrality repeal impacts blah blah blah. What happened since net neutrality was repealed? Fucking nothing, apparently.
The coronavirus happened. I'm not sure if it's relevant.
True. I'm surprised the fucking social media companies didn't go with that angle somehow.
Well,
If it was today, they would. You know
didn't
what?
all of this occur before the coronavirus?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Look at all the catastrophes.
I'm on
You
it.
don't actually
I'm
have
on
to
it.
think about it, Andrew.
I'm putting the connections together.
Yeah, nothing happens, did it? It's almost as if all those fucking international corporations lied to you. Dear Reddit users.
Well, what benefit did they have to lying? I don't understand why they would have lied.
So the thing with net neutrality was that it wouldn't have really impacted the end user as much as it would have impacted the companies themselves. Like Riot Games, for example, for some while had to fight with an ISP company because the ISP would throttle Riot Games' servers. Not the users. The users didn't have to pay extra to do anything, but like Riot Games, the company would have its own servers throttled.